Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another NIKKE reaction. Today we have the brand new one that just came out from Cosmograph, Claymore. So that's really all I can say. It was just out. I saw it in my recommendeds for a while, and then I saw it in the comments, and people wanted me to get to it. So here we are. So without further ado, let's go. What's new, Scooby-Doo? Okay, no, it's entirely different. All right. It was very close drum part, especially. This guy sounds a lot like Jonathan Young. Definitely not him. He has a very similar voice, though. Ooh. That's a fun little bridge there. Gotta love the fun fills. This is very pop punky. This is still kind of... Cosmograph is still doing the thing. I'll talk about it again afterwards. It's been a while though, but I'll talk about it. So far, I'm finding myself really enjoying the pre-chorus the most. I still am enjoying the rest of it, but I really like that pre-chorus. It's got a really fun energy to it. This would be a blast to play live. It's one of those types of songs where just playing it live, seeing this live would be really hype. Certain songs you can just get that energy from and it won't let you go. B.A.Wheeler. Bro sounds so much like Jonathan Young. So the thing I wanted to talk about wasn't actually Cosmograph's doing as I thought it was. It was the mixing and mastering of this song felt a little bit thin, but he had somebody else do it. But it might also be a little bit of Cosmograph because people tend to have their bias in their ears. And for mine, I feel like almost consistently, though it has been a while since I brought it up because it hasn't been quite this thin in a while, this song is missing so much bass for me. Like, I am not necessarily a super heavy bass person. I don't think it needs to be washed out or oversaturated by any means, but a lot of Cosmograph songs in the past that I've heard, and this one especially as far as recent songs, very thin. I feel like there's so much low end that just gets completely thrown out. Like there's a bass that doesn't exist. And I don't have the worst headphones ever, and I listen to it on my regular speakers as well, and it's still pretty thin. I'm not getting that kick, that punch that would come from this genre. Like that's really what's not selling for me. I enjoy the way that the song is like reminiscent of that pop punk movement, has a lot of those like the tom grooves and everything, very much that like early 2000s kind of pop punk, but it's just losing the power because there's no beef to it. There's no heaviness to those floor toms that you're playing on the bass drum that's supposed to drive everything in this genre. It just feels kind of lackluster as a result. And like I said, I've mentioned it before, and Cosmo has actually responded to that criticism before as well. And I do not think any less of the song itself as a result, but it does have a bit of an impact on the listening experience, so it's worth thinking about when you're mixing music, how much you want to have, make sure other people are listening to it with different equipment. That's always what I've done for my own mixes. I send them off to friends of opinions I trust, and I'm sure he does that as well. It's a pretty common practice in the music creation world. But the bias of having so little bass on Cosmograph's end feels like it's really just kicking his pants for things that I feel like could do with more of that low end. Obviously, mobile games, and I've said this before as well, don't really have much low end to show when you're listening on a phone, usually either through the speakers or even through headphones. It doesn't quite get the same sound floors, so focusing on the low end really doesn't feel like it should be worth as much as it is. But if you want songs to really punch good and you want people to listen to it in their free time and like download the track and make it part of their playlists, it needs to have a little bit more of that general mid and low range, because it just really doesn't feel like it's there, and it ruins it for people like me who otherwise really enjoy the songs that are being made. It was also kind of a bummer, a little bit of one, that it didn't have a separate set of lyrics for the second half. I don't think that's always needed. There's plenty of songs that don't do that. Mr. Brightside is still a chart topper with having the exact same thing played twice. It's not a requirement, but it does kind of make me go, oh, we're doing this again. Especially when it's a song this short, it feels a little bit more forgiving, but it still kind of hits you like, oh, we're doing the same thing again. It just, there's a lot of psychological stuff going on with this one. And I want to reinforce, that doesn't mean that I hate this song by any means. I think it's a really fun, like, pop punk sound. I enjoy that, and it has a lot of roots in my own interest of music. But that might also be why I'm being a little extra critical this time around, because I am so familiar and I love that genre. And while this song is still fun, there are just enough little things that are making me go, wish that was a little bit different. Everything else about the composition, perfectly solid. The drum groove, like I mentioned, that fits right in. The guitar parts are really fun. The vocal line as well, like the top line was just, it sits itself right in there and it feels good. It's just mostly mixing and then the lack of a second actual verse that kind of make me go, but also it's forgivable. It's not like there's any unforgivable transgressions happening in this track. I'm just being a little bit extra salty, probably because I love pop punk and this is very much in that zeitgeist where I'm like, I want more. But I think I'll end it there. So thank you all so very much for watching. Sorry if this was kind of a bummer of me just kind of poking at this song a little bit, but I've never been one to hide my true opinions on stuff, and I hope you all can respect that at very least. And of course, if you want to request something, by all means, leave it down in the comments below and I'll do my best to get to it as always. And otherwise, if you like this video and you want to follow me and support me for more in the future, then you know how to do all that, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye!